So I did it. Shadowplay doesn't support OpenGL in full screen. Okay, so that sucks, and so I was trying out some other things, but all of them work by rendering one frame and saving it, and then rendering the next frame and displaying it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And so the result is you lose half of your frame rate. And that really sucks. Also, most of them cost money, and it's just lame. It's not cool. And so I tried a number of different things to get Shadowplay to work, and then I realized, wait, hold a minute. You can instruct your operating system to display a given window with no border. Someone, and I could program this if I need to, but someone clearly has to have done this. And they have, and so what this, I found a little app, and essentially what it does is it maximizes Minecraft, hides the taskbar, and removes the window borders. So what you're seeing right now is not technically a game running in full screen. It's a game running maximized with no borders. And the result is, I think I should be able to record it with Shadowplay without the hideous performance hit. We'll see if it crashes. I've been getting some weird stuff, but earlier, and the way I can test this is earlier, if I set my max frame rate to 60 FPS, my in-game frame rate comes out to like 32 FPS because I'm losing half the frames. Well, let's see what we've got now. 45, 48, 46. Yeah. And if we bump that up to 120. Yeah. Okay. So I think we're good. Let's see what kind of frame rates we can get while recording with a shader. It looks good now, but it'll get worse as more polygons load in. Yeah, that's a far cry better than the alternatives. I was concerned I wouldn't be able to record with shaders at all, and I still don't know if I will use shaders when, you know, we're actually playing on the server doing an LP flow sheet. But at least it's certainly serviceable. We might crash, and we'll probably get some stuttering as we load chunks, but that's how it goes. Also, wait, that's the wrong button. There we go. Okay. Journey map. Journey map is awesome. Everyone should love Journey map. Okay. So the way that this terrain generator, and that's some weird shading right there. The way the terrain generator works is obviously one biome overhaul is not good enough for the Slounge. And so what this has is I've installed Biomes of Plenty, Extra Biomes XL, and Highlands, 3 different biome overhauls. And they're not compatible with each other at all. But what you do is you install a mod called Climate Control, and what it does a couple things, but the most valuable thing it does is it acts as sort of a parent mod, and then it generates the world and it pulls in biomes from other mods as you instruct it to. And so ultimately, this isn't a Biomes of Plenty world, this isn't an Extra Biomes XL world, this is a Climate Control world. Climate Control itself doesn't add any biomes. And the other thing it allows you to do is change a whole lot of the macro level things about terrain generation. For instance, the way it's currently configured is it generates a variety of different sized continents and islands. I'm guessing we're probably on one of the biggest ones. They are supposed to be roughly 8,000 blocks square. There's a lot of variation though. They get oblong and weird and everything. Instead of just the kind of perpetual continent that you see in vanilla, you have actual real continents with borders, and you know, you can go around them and everything. So that's really cool. And Journey map works really well for that. You can kind of explore and keep track of the shape of the overall landform. And then there's individual islands that will have 1 or 2 biomes. And the biomes work in a very different way. What I've done is I've shrunk down the biome size from 4 to 3. So you might notice the biomes are actually pretty small, but what else I've done is the biomes are in groups. Each biome is assigned a given climate, such as warm, cold, temperate, icy, whatever, ocean. And then the biomes are grouped together. So the biomes are smaller, but you get these kind of macro biomes, whereas in vanilla it's kind of just random biomes scattered everywhere. In this, you'll get similar biomes next to each other. And so even though the biomes are smaller, you don't just get chaos. And I think it gives you a really nice kind of variety while at the same time being coherent. So you'll just have to, take a look around and see what you think. Like I said, world generation is just a total, well, you know what world generation is. It kicks the snot even out of the i7 because it's a single-threaded workload. So if I went and looked at my CPU, it would be CPU 0 perpetually at 100%, and most of the other ones probably aren't working very hard. It's just the one core trying to generate this world. Let's see. So we got some nice... When I also went in and configured the weights for every single biome in all those different mods. So there's certain biomes that I've disabled entirely because I think they're lame. And if you want, you can go in and you can look at what some of those are. And then, biomes that I thought were particularly awesome are moderately more common. I tried not to go overboard because, if everything in the world is absolutely amazing, it's just kind of crazy. So we've got, some just plain biomes, as in, rolling plains, not boring, and stuff. But I've also tried to emphasize the biomes that I think are really high quality and give you something exciting to build on. Yeah. And I configured this, golly, at this point, it's like 3 or 4 months ago, so I don't remember a lot of the details. I'm getting stuttering, but I am hoping that's just related to terrain generation. It probably is. Yeah, see, high 30s, like, I could record at this regularly. This is very workable. Now, you get in a base where there's lots of machinery moving and more stuff to render, it might slow down. Though most of that tends to be CPU limited, not GPU limited. So, like this grass here, and all those leaves, that's what kills you. Is like, I don't know if you remember the redwood forests on the old server would just murder at frame rate. Also, Paige is probably wanting to scream at me right now because my FOV is so low. It's all, the defaults. So let's see if we can find the coast without crashing the game by moving too fast. It really doesn't like this. But yeah, having all 3 of the biome mods really makes for some very interesting terrain. It's interesting, I don't feel like this is quite as interesting as the last world I made back a couple months ago. But maybe I've just become callous to beauty. Like this is a Highlands mod, or a Highlands biome. The Alps. It's kind of ridiculous. Also, if I had GregTech installed, you'd see giant patches of ore and stuff in the mountainsides. So yeah, if you want to build up here at, what are we at? We're at Y199, Y200. 50 blocks margin, so that's actually, hardly ever you build anything taller than 50 blocks. So you have space, but that's really high. Let's see. where we've gone mostly south. I may need to turn down the continent size a little, because, you know, once again, I'm trying to avoid the infinite continent syndrome. Also, none of my key bindings are set to the normal ones. So, as you can see, we're in a cold macrobiome, and so we get these glaciers and Alps and frost forest and cold taiga. Holy crap. Some of the highlands biomes can be a little excessive, but I don't know. I'm not sure if you can configure that, the actual mountain height. You might be able to. I haven't tried. So now we're in a more slightly more temperate area, it looks like. I don't remember what snow forest, if it's as cold as possible or one step above that. Yeah, it looks like we're going warmer. Whew, that's some real stuttering there. Yeah, 15 FPS. 9 FPS. Come on. Come on. There we go. Alright, are we good? Here, you want to see something crazy. Let's see, is this the one? I think this is... No, this is not the one. Ugh. It's... this one. This one is crazy. I don't like it because everything turns green. Honestly, if it weren't for like the green overload, like look at that sand. The sand is green. What is wrong with you? This is actually a really cool cinematic shader. It even has motion blur. Like, and the other thing is, look at that. I mean, it's still at 30 FPS. It's really very smooth, all things considered. But it's too green. I wonder if that's the sort of thing I could go in and manually mess with the color filtering, because maybe it's a little disorienting, but it's it also has depth of field, looks like. Yeah, that's holy crap, that's also a little excessive, but yeah, that's a cool shader. Oh, this is a cool biome. I like these biomes. This is, and maybe this one is just really small. This is when the mod authors just decide to go crazy. I think this is flying mountains. From the lowest water can possibly get to, this is not actually a very good flying mountains biome. It's kind of boring, but some of them that are a little more developed and have a little more substance to them can be really cool. Are we on the coast? We may be on the coast. Let's shift to a less green shader. There you go. See, like, the water looks so much... I feel like each one of the shader mods has something great, but none of them quite nail it. Like, the water in... what's this? Chocopack? Whatever. The water is fantastic. I mean, just look at that. I wish I had dynamic lights installed so you could see a little better what it looks like if you're like holding a torch or something. Oh, it looks like the shader actually includes that. That's kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, look at that. So cool. See, does that... It doesn't make all that substantial of a change. It's a little bit lighter up top, but mostly the same. But yeah, so here we are at the coast, and what is that? The other thing that's annoying about Journey Map is you can't zoom out. There's a limit. I can't zoom out any more than this. I don't know who programmed that or why, but yeah, that continent's a little too large, and I mean, who knows how far north it goes. That's a little too large, I think, but obviously that's something that can be tweaked. So if we go along the coast, I'll just keep going for another 5 minutes or so and then wrap this up. You see the aliasing on the shrubs just doesn't do very well at a long range. There's those dreaded redwoods. Also, who designed those redwoods? Like, is there such a tree that looks anything like that? I think that's another candidate for just being completely removed from the terrain gen, because they're ridiculous and ugly. And there's redwood. I don't know if those are the Biomes of Plenty or Extra Biomes XL redwoods, but they both have redwoods. Actually, they both suck. I remember there's these, and then there's the ones with thicker trunks. They're also pretty freaking ugly. Oh well. The firs look real nice. My CPU is just choking. It's trying so hard, but it's just not well written for multi-core processing. The nice thing is, you know, obviously I probably won't come through this world again, but if I were to, I wouldn't have really any of these performance problems. I'm running on an SSD, so it would load really fast, and it doesn't have to generate it, so there would be none of the stuttering. I don't know, there may be a way to configure it so it's a little more aggressive with chunk loading. I think normally the game kind of puts off loading chunks until it feels like it absolutely has to. And if you're running on an SSD, then the performance cost of loading a chunk is actually really small, and it should just go ahead and do it, but I think it's programmed not to. I like the shadows. Wait, where'd my shadow go? Oh, there I am. Yeah, Minecraft with real ray tracing. It's kind of crazy. Tundra. This biome is not particularly pretty. It's not terrible. And, you know, like I said, you need the boring to make the extraordinary extraordinary, but not a huge fan of that one. Also, it's like unusually large, probably because it couldn't generate another biome on the other side because the ocean was in the way. So it just kind of spread out there. But that's closer to the size of a vanilla biome. Maybe it's a slightly small vanilla biome. And like I said, I'm trying to avoid having really big biomes just for variety's sake. Lava looks really great in this shader. Oop. Derp. Do cow. I think... Oh, I was about to say I should end this video by setting off a nuke, but I don't have IC2 installed. That's a shame. Got a lot of snowy biomes on this world. Or I've just been kind of unlucky. I think the world should have snowy biomes, but they're kind of boring. This is a cool little alcove, though. Holy lava. Batman. See, I wonder where that meme started. Was that actually, like, from a quote that Robin says in some old cheesy Batman something or other? I discovered the other day that my mother knows all about Batman and the Joker and Harley Quinn and everything. I was like, Mom, how on earth do you know this stuff? And she's like, as a kid, I watched it on TV. And I'm like, whoa. It's just strange to me. That's not the sort of thing that I think of my mother knowing. Because to me, you know, the Batman franchise is a more recent development, but with the Christopher Nolan movies and the Arkham games and stuff, but it's been around for ages, and all the old people know about it. Also, Loamy Dirt, this is a pet peeve of mine. I don't have NEI installed, so I can't show what its uses are, but I don't need NEI because it has like no uses, and it's all over the place in these biomes. These biomes are actually pretty good looking, but it's all over the place in these biomes, and you can't convert it to regular dirt, and it's useless, which is really annoying. Like, if we were just playing vanilla, it wouldn't really matter, because normal dirt doesn't really have any uses, so you're not losing anything. But here, you know, if you build here, you're just going to end up with stacks and stacks and stacks of useless loamy dirt. I don't know if you can run it through a recycler. That's probably the best use for it. Sacred Springs is a great biome. You'd have to kind of clear it off a little bit to build in it, but I love the, all the biomes have different color palettes, and Sacred Springs has a really nice palette for the grass and the leaves and stuff. Yeah, that bloom is a little excessive at evening time. Alright, well, oh, that's actually quite pretty. Lacking any nukes to set off, I'm going to call it quits here and see how many days it takes to upload this. I'm going to do it at 30 FPS, probably 720p. Maybe 1080p. I hate to do that, but I just don't want to sit around and wait for it and have it... My internet becomes unusable while I'm uploading, as I mentioned, and stuff, so... lag. Anyway, I will see y'all later.